why visibility, why storytelling? Because I'm super passionate about helping the people who've been doing the work, who might have not even been getting the credit,
Right.
finally come out of the shadows and stake their claim boldly to say, my voice matters. My voice has power. My voice can change my industry, can transform the people that I'm meant to serve, can change the world.
Hello there, amazing souls, and welcome to episode number 316 of the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Have you freaked out over visibility? I know, I'm just going to jump right in with you because you know what I'm talking about. You're like, I do all the things. I post, I write the emails and the newsletters, and it takes me hours. Hey, nobody knows me, right? You've had this conversation with yourself. Or even worse, maybe you got some publicity, you were able to be visible, you saw some things coming in, and then it all just dried up. And you're like, well, what do I do now? Visibility is the key to opening the door to success in your business. And as someone who teaches the idea that scarcity is baked into most business models, I'm going to tell you, visibility really frees you up to start to notice the incredible amount of abundance that's amazing. Abundance is a way for you to start to see how much is available to you all the time. There is so much publicity that's available. There are so many human beings looking for you. And when you start to play the game of visibility like everyone else, we know this, but I'm going to remind you, you become invisible and it is painful. So if that's you, you are going to love me for bringing on today's guest, whom you're also going to love by the end of this episode. Her name is Carrolee Moore, and she's a specialist at getting people booked on podcasts. But let me tell you something, that is just the beginning. Carrolee Moore is a Jamaican-born entrepreneur, speaker, and founder of the Podcast Pitching Society. She helps overlooked experts get paid for what they know, not just what they do, through high-impact podcast placements and long-form visibility strategies. After being laid off in 2020 and moving cross-country, she launched her first business from an air mattress in an empty apartment. She transformed that rock-bottom moment into a multi-six-figure agency, and in under 2 years, she built that without ads, SEO, or social media marketing. She is a creator of the Currency of Visibility movement and the visionary behind CAKE, Podcast Guesting Method, helping founders turn podcast interviews into content and contracts. Her work has been featured in the Dallas Morning News and on popular platforms like the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. And in 2025, she was inducted into the Who's Who of America for her contributions to marketing and communications. This is a woman that you want to listen to. This is someone you want to learn from. This is where we all got to put on the little humble cape, right? Sit down, buckle up, grab a notebook. And if you're working out or driving, just listen in. Make sure you listen to what Carrolee has to say about the power of your voice, your story, and how you can start to use that to grow your business. So pop in those earphones and let's get to it. Carrolee, welcome to the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Boy, am I excited to have you here today.
I'm super excited to be here, Sarah. I'm pretty sure this conversation is going to be epic.
You heard it here first, people. Epic, epic. They're going to be like, what do they have in their drinks? We don't know yet. It's just good stuff, you guys. Oh my gosh. But I'm really in love with what you do. I have to be honest. When we were looking through who to have on the podcast, what are we doing? And your focus on visibility, I think, is so important. And I love the way that you go about it. I love that you're not surface level. And I can't wait to dive in with you. And I know there are a lot of people listening who are like, help, I'm invisible, right? I always do this thing, are you brilliant but broke? It's like, oh my God, nobody sees me, right? So I know we have some people leaning in. So before we jump into that though, I would love to know, because just read your bio. People are excited to meet you. There's a lot that you could have done with your life. It's pretty clear. And with that as a backdrop, why is this what you've chosen to do with your one and only life?
Honestly, I think this journey started way back. Childhood, way back. I'm Jamaican, was born there, raised there for a bit. Don't let the accent fool you. And one of the things that we used to do a lot, and I talk about a lot, is we would sit around and just tell stories and crack jokes on each other. That's where I got my thick skin of being just tormented with words. But I fell in love with storytelling so much that I majored in English in college until a professor terrified me. I was like, you're never going to make any money. So I had changed my major to communications. Did all of that, went and did the responsible thing and worked in corporate America. But all while doing that, I was still like moonlighting as a graphic designer, as a social media manager. I was still wanting to be in the storytelling part of things. So as I was working at MIT and like talking about robots and computer science and all the like, I was like at night, I was creating things and talking to people and listening to their dreams and really wanting to help them get more visibility. And I didn't call it that at the time, but as I went through my entire career, 15 plus years after graduating from college, I just decided, you know what? Instead of trying to split myself in these two ways, I'm just going to go all in on what I really want to do. And so I decided to start an agency specifically about branding, specifically about marketing. Here's the thing though. When you give people the, hey, I do logos, that's all they're thinking and seeing.
Correct.
They're not. And so when I'm talking to them about brand messaging, when I'm talking to them about the stories that they're telling with their brands, it's like Charlie Brown, like, wah, wah, wah.
Yep.
And I just realized I was selling Band-Aids when I really should have been selling like a new prosthetic leg because
Wow.
it was so gone at the time. A lot of people were coming in for Band-Aids when really what they needed was just to chop the thing off and get something else. And so when I closed that business down, and on paper it was successful, multi-six figure, did all the things, won awards, whatever, but I realized I was just not aligned with what we were doing as like the work and also the relationships that I had with our clients. However, I had found podcasting. I had my own podcast at the time. I produced, I was guesting, we were pitching me like heavy. And so when I decided to restart and do another business, I really wanted to think through not another thing to do that people would be like, oh, that's nice, that's cute, thank you. But something that people really needed, not one, like they needed and they knew they needed. And instead of guessing and making assumptions, I took 3 months and did market research. I talked to everyone I possibly could that owned a business, that was an expert in their field. And I just kept hearing the same thing in different ways. Hey, I really want to be like known more and found more, because I know if I were to be found more, I would be like wealthy right now, because what I offer is so good. I've been doing this for a really long time, but just nobody knows that I exist. And I started kind of pulling back, like, what could this offer be? And I landed on podcast pitching because everybody and their mom is doing podcast production. I really didn't enjoy that work in progress process. And so I said, okay, if I can help you to get on podcasts, great. I thought that's where it ended. I'm going to get you on podcasts and that's good. The purpose work that has come through that initial thought of I'm just going to get these experts on podcasts, the purpose work that came through is where now I get to actually have the opportunity to walk alongside people as they break sometimes generational blocks, as they break chains in who they thought they were identity level, as they go into full purpose and find the power within their own voice. I get to have a front row seat to those kinds of transformations on a day-to-day basis. And it's the most incredible thing ever. And so why visibility, why storytelling? Because I'm super passionate about helping the people who've been doing the work, who might have not even been getting the credit,
Right.
finally come out of the shadows and stake their claim boldly to say, my voice matters. My voice has power. My voice can change my industry, can transform the people that I'm meant to serve, can change the world. It is so incredible. Like the people that I've been finding that have all of the letters behind their names,
Yes.
have done all the things, and they still suffer from imposter syndrome. It's incredible and it's kind of scary. I was like, wow. But that super long way of saying, for me, I'm passionate about the work I do, not because I'm getting people on podcasts, but because they're able to see themselves in a completely different way. And so therefore they show up differently when they go on these podcasts. And so they make money. And it's not just
Mm.
like a cute, like, okay, we have a great conversation. Thank you. Have, you know, next time. It's like, no, I'm talking to my people. My people have found me. And now they're like, oh my God, where have you been?
Yeah.
And they're able to truly grow their business that way. So
Oh, you just warmed my heart. Like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. That breaking of generational,
yeah.
I'm going to call it BS. I don't know what else to call it, but the stuff that we just pick up through osmosis,
Mm-hmm.
like literally the air we breathe is what
Mm-hmm.
our limits are, like
Yeah.
what's true about us that isn't based in fact at all. What our stories about money, our relationship to wealth, our relationship to power, our relationship to our voice, all of that. I got chills when you were sharing that because I just can't think of work that's more important. Truly,
Absolutely.
truly.
Absolutely. And I didn't see it coming. I really, it wasn't like I was like, this is going to be my payback to them. Like, no, I really didn't. I thought I was like, great, I'll get some people on podcasts. It's worked for me. It grew my business. I've made multi five-figure contracts. I've done all the things. Great. I can do it for other people. I did not see that coming. And
Mm.
that has kind of, money's great. But if you can help someone see themselves differently, and so therefore they show up differently,
Ah,
and are able to then help other people. So the like snowball effect is like absolutely crazy.
no, truly world changing. I don't mean to sound grandiose or hyperbolic. Like that is literally that's what's going to change what we're seeing in the world right now, are people understanding their own voice, their own power, their own story, their own spirit, you know? And I love what you said too about no matter how many letters are behind the name. I always love when people say that because it cracks me up. It's like I always see the more letters I
The
see, the more
alphabet.
I'm like, oh, you don't trust yourself yet. You know what I mean? Like I don't mean it like that. That's not to be disparaging at all. Incredible human beings get a lot of degrees, but I'm always like, what's happening there and the imposter syndrome that lives in the shared humanity we all have
Mm-hmm.
around that, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, but I'll finally be ready when.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be good enough if, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just that drive we all have inside of us to prove that. But also, this just came to me right now as we were talking about this idea that we need to break the bond between performance and worthiness, right? It's like, no, you don't have to perform to be worthy. You're already worthy.
So that is a fantastic point, and one that we are actually taught just by osmosis in corporate America,
100%.
right? We are taught that there is a preferred way of writing, of
Mm,
speaking, of dressing. And so we essentially, the longer you're in that, the more you have to put on. And it
mm,
becomes this thing that you wear, and it's a performance.
mm.
And until you're able, as an entrepreneur especially, to untie that bond that binds you to this fake identity that you've created to survive an environment that is not natural,
Yeah.
especially for women and people of color,
Hmm.
then you're stuck in a place where you're in a body that you're uncomfortable in. And
Yeah.
so, therefore, when you speak, you sound rehearsed. You're using words that you think are approved, but and so you're scared to kind of just like sound like yourself because
Yeah.
what is that actually? And the reason I can speak so clearly to this is because I literally just a few years ago had to go through that breaking myself.
Hmm.
And a
Hmm.
lot of the reasons why I feel like I'm very much called to the people who were in corporate for a long time, who are considered the experts, who have done all the things, is because I was you. I'm overeducated, multiple masters and all the things and all the letters behind. I know that.
Yeah.
Worked in the prestigious, all the things. I'm from Massachusetts. We collect
It's what we do. Yeah. It's true though.
degrees
It's
and
true. Yeah.
certifications.
Degrees
Like
matter.
it's candy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
right? It's all the Harvard and MIT and
Yeah.
all the things. But at the end of the day, you have to do the work to know who you are. I've coined the idea of the currency of visibility, and that is at the core of it. Before you get to this idea of being visible to other people, you have to first go through and do the work to be visible to yourself.
Oh, I think that's everything. I think that's everything. I'm sorry, I have to jump in because I know you and
Please.
I are not surface people. I don't think
No.
we're going to be talking about the weather very much. Like we are going in, we are getting under this. Do you think truly in the work that you're doing and in what
Mhm.
you're seeing out there in the world? I feel like I deal with clients almost constantly who are like, I've tried everything. I've done all the things. Nobody knows I exist. Is one of the biggest missing pieces in that journey not being visible to themselves as they truly are?
1000%. I think I would say it's the biggest one because here's the thing. I'm a marketer. There's about, I mean, I throw a rock and you find another marketer. We're everywhere. Whether or not we're good is a whole other conversation, but
Right.
we're everywhere. And one of the things that I had to figure out in trying to sell my services in my first agency is like, other than price, what is the differentiator?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to show and tell this person that is looking at 3 or 4 different branding agencies, like why your agency would be different? And that exercise, beyond anything else, helped me to be able to confidently sit across from someone, ask them for $25,000 to do their website, and say why you would want to pay that versus $5,000 down the street.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not able to truly understand what makes your voice, your perspective, the way that you do things unique to you, it's really hard for you to communicate that to someone else.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more.
And when you're doing that on the internet, if you're not confident, one, what's going to happen is you'll start to hide even more because then you're seeing everybody else's stuff and start to compare. And because you're not confident in who you are and your perspective, your voice, your tone, all the things, you'll get, scared. And then you recede even more. One of my favorite things to do is to ask the people that said, I've tried all the things, I've done all the things. I ask them to break down what they've been doing. And what often is happening when they say they've tried all the things is they've posted maybe twice a week for a month. And if that, right? So mostly it's social media. That's mostly what they've tried. If I ask them about their email list, if they have one, they might be sending stuff once a month, maybe, right? If I ask them about blogs on their website, the last time they put blogs on the website was when the website went live with the first 3 blogs that have just been there, period, right? And I start to see what you are saying is you tried to do the thing that you thought was going to work, which was social media. And because from your very, very limited effort, you didn't see the big hoopla of oh my gosh, that you thought you were going to see, you got discouraged and stopped doing everything else. And so in your mind, you've tried all the things, but in reality, you have not. Most people have not. That's the first thing, or I guess the second thing. So the first thing is obviously you're having an internal battle that is actually impacting how you're showing up online. And so therefore your people who are supposed to find you, who will connect to your messaging, who will connect to how you solve the problem that you solve, if you're not actually speaking to them, if you're just kind of blending in with the noise, then yeah, you're not going to get found. And then the second piece is you're actually not, more than likely, this is a little hard, hard truth here, you're probably not trying as hard as you think you are. I'm a little blunt and direct, and
Well, but I think people need to hear it because I say very similar things, Carrolee. I mean, I think it is so important for people to understand you don't post 12 times and you're done. It's that's just you figuring out what are people even looking at? What's even happening? What is this voice that I'm using? Meaning, your branding message.
Yeah.
What's happening here? And is it mine? And I think that in this world that is so loud, people think you're supposed to post a couple things and then it goes viral and you're done. And you're cooked. You're good. It's right? It's that level of it. I think AI has made it even worse, right? But that level
I was just going to say.
Were you? Yeah. It's everybody, I can tell in 2 seconds, even today in my own stuff, I can tell when my team turns stuff in and I'm that is AI. It's so clear. And we're using awesome tools. We use an AI app that I love that not that many people know about, but it is so good. And I can still tell because it's not human.
Well, here's the thing too, though, and what I realized, I have 2 thoughts on that. The first one is we're ceding our creativity to AI and we should not be.
Agreed.
Right? My coach always says AI is my assistant. It doesn't think for me.
Hmm.
I don't use AI as my creativity tool. I use it as like a polishing all that, like it is not the thing that comes up with the ideas that I'm like, that's it. I come up with the ideas, I kind of flesh it out. I am the audio queen. So I'll record my voice just like me, going off the top, and then I'll send the transcript to my team like, hey, use this and like create. So they're taking things, stories that only could come from me,
Hmm.
right? Perspectives that only could come from me. You're not allowing AI to write your content without any input
From
that is
you.
like
Yeah.
specifically from you.
Yes.
That is wild.
Yes.
But honestly, that's what is being pushed out on a
100%.
massive scale right now.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of ways, yes, it's harder, but in a lot of ways, I feel like it's easier to stand out at this point because so many
Oh,
people are
because
going the lazy route of, oh, I'm going to do AI photos, I'm going to do AI videos, I'm going to do AI content. As long as you're committing to showing up consistently as a real person with real
mm,
perspective, and I would dare to say a contrarian perspective that is
hmm,
not the usual, you will stand out. Your people will find you easier because they're trudging through all of the,
the copycat noise, I want to
yeah,
call it.
that's
I mean,
nicer
it's
to
like,
say. I wasn't going to say
but it's
that.
like, listen, I think I love what you're saying so much. Oh my gosh, I'm like leaping out of my seat because I love this. And I think what people aren't understanding, even people who are afraid of AI at this point, right, is it doesn't think. It's not alive. It doesn't think. It aggregates data.
Yeah,
It does it at a tremendous speed and it's incredibly useful. That's wonderful, but it doesn't think. And you cannot outsource your thinking. And one of the tests I have people do, Carly, I love this, is I'm like, go ask it what your unique point of view is. Go ahead. What's going to make you stand out of the market? It cannot do it. And it can't do it because one, it's not you, but also two, it cannot think. It cannot create something new. It can only aggregate from what already
exactly.
exists. And I think people are really missing that point. And I think that's why we can tell so quickly when something's been written with AI. Even though it's getting better, you can still tell.
Yeah.
And I think for people who say they've tried all the things, that's a really important piece. I love that you educate on that and teach people that because it's something I've really noticed lately. And it makes me sad. Because I think
Yeah.
what makes us so amazing is our unique perspectives and our unique point of view. And like you said, a contrarian point of view, or like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do it the way everybody else is doing. So why would I use AI to write it? Because that's what everybody's using. Right? It's like, it's kind of like, guys, work with
Yeah.
me.
And
Yeah.
again, and this is the other contrarian view to that. It's going to sound like I'm saying something opposite, but I'm not. I don't think people would even really care if they're reading it and they know that it's AI if it's good content. If it still is your story, if it still is like if it's coming from you. Again, I recorded my morning because I go on morning walks and I record I'm telling y'all my whole process.
I love
I
it.
record my thoughts for the day and things that I've just kind of been thinking about. So my stream of consciousness basically about a
Mm,
particular thing that's in my industry, a particular part of podcast guesting that I'm like obsessed about at the moment. Whatever it is, I record that. That is my actual stream of consciousness. Those are my thoughts. And so me feeding it in, as you said, Sarah, that's data, but that data is personalized.
yes.
It's not pulling data from all over the internet and then trying to make it you. It's pulling you, and then it might pull in other social media posts that have been made before that came from you or emails that came from you. And so it's writing in a way that someone who's reading it can still connect and feel and hear you, even though like you didn't sit there and write 2,000 words,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
there is a way for for it to not feel like really cringe. And even if people know that it's AI, if it sounds good and like, I don't care how you tell me my leg's broken. If I'm in pain, your leg's broken. Tell me in French. Tell me like as long as I can translate, Hetty, like it's
It's
broken and
hilarious.
you're helping me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want people to get so hung up on that, like to AI or not to AI. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that it's again to both of our points. Like it's not thinking for you. It's not,
Right.
you're not seeding creativity to a
Inside of it.
tool.
God, that is brilliant. I really love that. No, I really love that distinction because I've been like, what is bugging me about this? And it's outsourcing thinking.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing we never should outsource because that's what makes all of our business is so unique. That's what makes our
Humans.
offers so
Yeah.
beautiful, right? Is our ability to think and create from nothing. We're the only species who can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen a vacation poster for an elephant, right? Because they cannot imagine anything other than what they see. We are the
Yeah.
only ones who can do that.
Yeah.
Please don't outsource that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh my
Right.
God, that is how we manifest. That's our
That is
creative
very
ability.
dangerous. That is a
It
very
is.
dangerous, slippery slope.
Yeah. I was just going to make a joke. My son, he's so funny. He's in college and he made a joke the other day. He's like, Mom, when AI takes over, we're going to have to go to mind gyms, just like we go to body gyms now because we don't work in the fields anymore. We're not outside. We never move. We're going to have to go to mind gyms so we don't forget how to think. And I almost threw up in my mouth. But I also I was
But
like,
it's so
he's
true.
right.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
true.
And I think we really want to be the voices that are saying, don't outsource that part. That is the part that is
No.
uniquely you. Yeah.
Listen, I'm old enough to remember to do a decimal system. To read it. I'm old enough to remember when you had to open the encyclopedia to find information. That's important to
Yeah.
have to do some due diligence to find information
Yeah.
and then think critically. Oh my Lord, critical thinking is at an all-time low. But like to think critically about that information is so
Yeah.
important. I tell people all the time, like whether they're clients or just people that I'm talking to about podcast guesting, when we come on a podcast and you're wanting to be agreeable, I'm sitting here and let's have a good time. I've outright, it wasn't me, it was the podcast host, but disagreed with what was, and we had a conversation. That is gold.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
that. Yeah, well, no, because it's a rich. Also, too, we don't know how to. I'm gonna like take this in a little bit of a direction, but I think what's so beautiful about that example, Carrolee, and what makes that conversation so rich,
Yeah.
is people are so afraid to say what they actually think because we've lost the art of being able to disagree about something and talk about it with this
And not be
beautiful.
disagreeable. Yeah.
Yeah, and have this beautiful, rich. Oh my God, I never thought of it that way. And
Yep.
wait, say that again. And like we've lost that art. So I think I'm so excited to hear that you're pouring that into your clients and helping them in their own interviews to understand that actually enriches the conversation and it allows others to see that part of the richness of humanity, which is business, in my humble opinion, right? But part of that is our ability to teach each other things that we would never know,
Yeah.
to drop our veils of ignorance and see life through a different perspective and understand what's possible when we actually get to know each other.
Yeah. I think it's super
Yeah.
important. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what format you're in as a business owner, whatever your business is, if you don't have a perspective, then
Preach on it. Go. Keep going. I love this so much. Go.
then I think that there is something wrong
Mm.
with you calling yourself a thought leader. And that's another word or phrase that I have a problem with. Because to me, a thought leader is someone who has a distinct perspective that people are aware of
Mm-hmm.
in a
Yes.
particular industry, and they're known for it, and they're able to speak on that topic extensively from different perspectives because they've researched and done and had enough conversations with people that disagree with them. They've done enough and that's again the part that I think a lot of people are just kind of missing and why we only choose to work with experts. I
Mm.
can't stand 10 toes down behind someone who like has not done that work because it makes it harder for me to like rubber stamp and say, hey, this person's going to be fantastic on your show. They know what they're talking about. They're going
Right.
to come with their statistics, going to come with their facts, going to know, what is what. They're also going to know the other side's perspective. They're going to be able to kind of like teach you and your audience and then give all of these kind of good things. That is the point of that.
Mm.
We're
Mm.
too caught up in trying to like be liked, and too many people are, and I fell into this for a really long time, they're scared of just being themselves because of judgment. You're not wanting people like
Yeah.
these trolls to tell you like, oh, you don't know anything, you're wrong.
Correct.
Newsflash, that's gonna happen regardless.
It doesn't matter. I say that all the time. Like I always say to people, I'm like, have you ever been on a bus and someone gets on the bus and you're like, what's up with those shoes? What happened to that bag? Why are you wearing that? Like we're judging all the time and it makes
All the
no
time.
difference.
And I think that's probably why people are so scared, because you doing
Because
the
you're
same thing.
doing it. That's right. You tell them.
That's why you're scared, because you're doing the judgment. But I'm going to be super honest with you, whoever's listening to this. I'm going to tell you right now to free you in this moment. For the most part, nobody cares.
That's right.
People are so wrapped up in their own lives.
Yes.
They genuinely don't care.
They're busy.
You're going to be
Yeah.
trolled by bots. you're going to be trolled by someone who is bored out of their minds and is not doing anything with their lives. And eventually you just start feeling sorry for those people and
Yes.
not be like, oh my God, I'm so scared to say it. For the most part, no one is sitting on the internet waiting for you to post something so they can like be a jerk. Like that's not what's happening. So I want to free you in this moment. Like if you're wanting to post something, post it. There, it doesn't, for women, for whatever the reason is, we need to have makeup on.
Mhm.
We need to have like our hair done, all of the things. I want data at this point. As a
Mhm.
business owner, my biggest thing is data.
Yeah.
And one of the things I have to get comfortable with is failing is data.
Yes.
You go on a show, on a podcast, and sound absolutely crazy, or you your way out of it. That's data, because you're gonna listen to yourself and be like, "Oh my gosh." The next time, what are you gonna do? You're gonna practice. You're gonna remove some of those fillers. You're gonna make sure that you have your stories right. You're gonna make sure you have a story bank. You're gonna do the things to improve. So do not get so caught up in your head
Mm.
when it comes to visibility. It's everything is data. Okay, I posted 7 times last week on 3 different platforms. I want to see what performed the best, like out of all these things, what time. You just need to be using the data. Don't
Yes.
look and see, oh my God, my hair looked crazy. Oh, like my eyebrows, whatever.
What I love about that is people comment on it anyway. It doesn't even matter. It really, you know what else I love about what you're saying that I think is so important? One, the data, because I don't think we lean into that enough as business owners. This is especially those of us that we are the face of our brands, right?
Yeah.
Like people know who we are, right? Or they see the name, they know what that means. Is that the data that comes back is the only way you're going to be able to make the best next decision, right? It's
Exactly.
just you've really got to understand that. But number two, the only people who are going to say something negative about what you're creating or what you're sharing are people who are behind you on the path. Because anyone in front of you on the
That
path who's done the work, who's learned to lean into the data, who's
they're
had people
not.
comment on their
Yeah.
hair when they're telling their heartbreaking story, right? It's like those people in front of you on the path always reach back and pull you forward.
Yep.
They will always pull you forward. So
Yep.
the only people pulling you back are those who haven't walked the walk yet. And as soon as you start to really live in that, you don't even see them anymore, which is so powerful. They just bounce off. And like you said, sometimes you're like, I'm really sorry for you. That's how you chose to spend your Tuesday. Like, what a
Not
crazy
my
way for
problem.
you. Yeah, it's wow. I hope you get that figured out. And then
Yeah.
you just keep doing you. And I think that lesson, along with the data we're gathering, consumer data, it's so important for us to understand what's actually at work at these things and to
Yeah.
continue to share your story anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. And this
Yeah.
actually ironically goes back to the whole idea of I've been doing all the things. If you've been doing all the things, not tracking anything, you haven't been doing all the things.
That's right. Oh, I love you
If
for
you,
saying that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a nerd.
You're like, Sarah,
At my
remember the
core,
letters.
I am a nerd and I just believe in knowing your numbers.
Uh,
That is one of the biggest things for me when it comes to visibility, and why my stance on it and why I talk about the currency of visibility is I genuinely believe if your visibility is not making you some sort of money, like AKA if your visibility is not making dollars, I argue that it doesn't make sense, because it needs to actually go from, hey, I see you, you're here, to something else.
mm,
I'm not
yes.
in this to be popular. I could care less about people coming up to me at the airport like, oh my God, Carol. I what does my bank account look like?
That's right.
Are my team, are they good? Can I pay
Hmm.
payroll every single month? Are we okay?
Yes.
That's what matters at the end of the day. I'm running a business.
That's right.
I'm not an influencer. And I think a lot of, unfortunately, business owners are trying to run their visibility and their marketing strategies like they're influencers. You're
Yes.
not doing lifestyle content, sis.
Yeah.
Like you are running a business.
Right.
No, I shouldn't say nobody cares about what you ate for breakfast, but you better
People
tie
do
that
care. It's
thing.
odd, but yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You
It's
better
like,
tie that thing back to what you do
right. How can you work with me? Why
always.
is my point of view unique? How can people get in touch when they want something? What is the problem you're solving? Like back to the basics. And
It's always,
yeah.
even if you're talking
Yeah.
about your life. I'm a believer and I do devotional pretty much every morning.
Love
And
that.
there are times where something like really touches me and I want to share. But like at the end of that, I'm going to tie it back to some kind of mindset shift that I know that my prospective clients need to have in order to work with me on visibility. Because at the end of the day, I'm sharing, not for just sharing,
Right.
on a personal level, it's always business. Like it is. Unless we're friends in real life, just know my social media is business, period.
Love it.
So visibility, I like everyone that I meet. Sarah and I, by the way, I'm going to say it on camera so you can't say no. I'd love to like grab coffee
Let's do
after
it.
and just like build that relationship, because who knows what can come from that.
Yeah.
As far as like us connecting. For me, there's always relationship building, but you should always be kind of thinking about to what end. This is my favorite question, and I've been using it for everything now that I'm planning for 2026. It's like visibility to what end?
That's right.
What
That's
is
right.
the point of this?
Yes.
If you're just wanting to be featured on more podcasts, don't waste your time. You have to know to what end.
Yes.
You want to be featured in Forbes and all the things just so you can pop and say, oh my God, I was featured. But like, to what end? Do you know how many people? I have a mentor who went on Good Morning America, was featured on Good Morning America, and made $0 from that feature.
Oh, you just broke my heart in a million pieces. Yeah.
Right? Meanwhile, I have clients who are going on like, I don't know, Joe Schmo podcasts with way less people looking and made multi-5-figure contracts. You have to know to what end, because when you know to what end, then you go in with intention and you're able to actually make a plan.
Love it. God, it is so overlooked, isn't it? And I think
1,000%.
I just, oh my gosh, I want to say just a couple things as we're wrapping up here that I think are so important, is that this desire to be liked, the misidentity of being an influencer. One of my best friends is an influencer, very successful influencer. And like, we do not have the same job. like we could not have any more of a different job, right? Like, we're both online all the time, totally different jobs. And I think I'm so grateful for that, actually, because it's really highlighted for me too, the difference, right? This is not the same. This is not the same industry, but having all of us talk about that, we're running businesses, and influencers are too, but they're running very different businesses.
Very different.
And so always starting with the end in mind. What action do I want people to take from this, whatever, this post, this message, this podcast interview, and getting crystal clear on that so that there can be money made on the back end. Yeah. And you can help the people who are waiting for you.
Absolutely. And you can't do that if you're hiding.
Yeah. Or being nice. Sometimes it has to be like, no, let me actually tell you the truth. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, woman, listen to me. If someone is listening to this podcast episode right now and they're like, oh dear God, I need me some more Carrolee, where can people find you?
So the one place I'll say above everything else is LinkedIn, for sure. I'm on there more than anything else. But I do have a gift for your listeners. Listen, I've been giving away like freebies and this like DIY, whatever. Like, I stopped with all of that. Right now, I'm offering 30 minutes visibility strategy sessions for anybody who wants to actually go into 2026. Like, this is going to be launched, I believe, in January. So start off the year with a plan for your visibility. We're going to sit down. I'm going to stalk your whole life before.
Warning,
so when
warning.
I get on the actual call, we will literally create a plan for you. And so you will understand, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. These are the things that I need to like get on right away in order to grow my visibility. If you've been listening to this and nodding your head like, oh man, yeah, this is an opportunity and it's fully free, and I don't know when I'm going to stop doing this. So what my calendar starts to fill up, I'm like, okay.
I love this so much. Oh my gosh. I'm like leaping out of my chair right now. I'm like, there's 15 people I want to send you right now because it's just so important. All right, you guys, for those of you watching on YouTube, all of the links to everything that our beautiful soul just shared will be underneath this video. For those of you listening in, everything that Carrolee shared will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for spending time with the girlfriends today. I'm so grateful for the work you're doing. As someone my mission is to put as much money in the hands of women as I possibly can. I cannot thank you enough for standing shoulder to shoulder with me and making sure we all get this done in the best way possible. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying yes to my pitch, Sarah.
You got it, girl. She pitches well, people. All right. Thank you so much, Carrolee. I'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.